Greetings, family. What's going on? This is Kofi Boateng, author of Notes to My Sister. Let him serve you. And today we're doing the Saturday Q&A with Danai from the Black Marriage Movement platform. And we have, as usual, a hot topic. Hot topic. People might not like me by the end of today's live. And unfortunately, I only have an hour today. I have a couple of appointments during the day, so I can't really get into this and explain myself and break everything down like I usually like to. But I'm gonna say some pretty incendiary things. They're gonna hurt some feelings, but as always, it comes from a place of love, and it does come from scripture as well. It's just that we need to stop, soft showing around some of these topics, because it's yeah. You know what? Dee normally introduces the topics. While we're waiting for her to come on, let me just break it down. So today we're talking about the post that Danai put up earlier this week about Lela Rochon and her husband Antoine Fuqua's situation with Eddie Murphy's ex-wife, Nicole Murphy. Just to give you some context, there's a photograph of Lela Rochon in her heyday, looking all types of fine, and there's a photograph of her now, after years of marriage, looking, she's put on some weight. She's not what she used to look like, and in all fairness, that's to be expected. But in the middle of the post, the image is two images of her husband and Nicole Murphy. On top, Nicole is wearing a bikini top, and Antoine's kissing her, and beneath it, they're suited, and at some kind of gala event, black tie event, and looking very comfortable together. And the caption is basically saying that Lela should have looked after herself better, should not have let herself go, because men like what they like, and that almost justifying Antoine's indiscretion, And Dee invited comments, so as you can imagine, it's a free for all down there. Some of the ladies are feeling offended by the body shaming. Some of the guys are defending Antoine's move. I'm sure there's some people who are out there defending Nicole Murphy's stenarization of Lela Rochon. Stenarization basically means, in essay, there's a term, shaistina, which means when someone is with somebody else and you show up with a with a cinder block, like a brick, and you hit a person with it to take them out the picture, and then you take the person and keep it moving. So, basically, that's what they're saying Nicole has done to Lela. And Dee's taking her time getting on, and me, I'm going to jump into this thing. If you're not careful, I'll jump inside this thing, or I will jump in and just start, But while we're waiting for Dee, let's hear from you guys. How are you doing? What are your thoughts on it? Let me read some of your comments. I'm not sure if you already commented on Dee's platform, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. Let's see. Why you're not in your car? No, I'm in the house right now. Yeah, I'm in the house right now. This is what a Kofi looks like in his natural habitat. It's quite relaxing. It's different, isn't it? Yeah. Tucked away in my little corner, looking all homely, comfy. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. It's different. I like to hit people with angles, different angles, different sides. So how you guys doing? And what do you think? Talk to me. And nobody's trying to say nothing. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. I'm just gonna jump in then. I'm just gonna jump in since D isn't here yet. And flip. It's oh man, I'm gonna know you did not hit me with the Idris Elba. I'm like, I would have to be like the budget Idris Elba. I'm like, I make a budget Idris Elba, but I am an amazing Kofi. You know, I'm making an incomparable Kofi. Happy you aren't in your feelings today. Oh yeah, like earlier in the week. Yeah. Goodness gracious. Yeah. You know, we talk about men going through depression, and we talk about men going through a lot, and you know, a huge contributor to that can be the women in our lives, and you know, it breaks my heart when I see good men going through the most. You know, it really breaks my heart. You know, not that it's any less painful when I see it happening to women, but you know, it's not as spoken about when men go through it. So I was really up in my feelings that day. Sorry if I came off a little unhinged. He's cheated on her before and has 2 or 3 outside kids, so he's keeping to his nature. I've heard that she has lupus, which may have caused the weight. Ooh, flip. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm good. I think it's wrong. We ought to love despite the body change. Let's rather go to gym together or take walks, because if a man's body changes, a woman is not allowed to leave. Let's be fair. I like that. Y'all talking about Lela and Nikki Murphy? Yes, we are. We are. Yes, now that you mention Idris way too. Oh my goodness, Quinn. Now we know Quinn. Go by. Now it means you too. Why? Go by means why. Kofi's always in his feelings. You see how mean he is to me. Okay, first of all, okay, my phone has not forgiven you for the things you've been saying about it. Okay, you owe my phone an apology, Queen Goldilocks. Honestly, like, had to take it in for phone therapy and Lord knows what else. Men will cheat on women who look like Nicole, but men are visual creatures. So, is this something the couple discusses beforehand? You know, like that's a very good point. Like, and if I can just touch on that quickly, you know, well, what do you mean by discusses beforehand? Because I'm just gonna come out and give my opinion, like in a nutshell. It's not an excuse to cheat. You know, it is not an excuse to cheat. So the only thing that should be discussed beforehand is don't cheat on me when I put on weight, or when I lose weight. Don't cheat on me. Help me. You know, that's it. If your woman is gaining weight, then it's his fault for not sexing her enough. If you were stroking her right, she would get all the cardio she needs. You would be surprised, though. I mean, like, the thing is, there are people who get really complacent. There are women who get really complacent, no matter what a guy does. You know, there are women who there's the who feel you have to accept everything. I don't have to, you know, look after myself. I don't have to take care of myself. I don't have to, you know, consider your. Hey, D.
What up, dog?
Dylan, how you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. How are you?
All good. I'm all good. I've already done the introduction. I've introduced the topic. Would you like to weigh in? Look at Dee coming on here, like beautifying her
topic. Say that again. Say what? You trying to blast me? Is that what you're doing right now? Yeah. I'm not accepting that. I don't accept that.
This will come on like, you know, yes, I am on fleek.
Whatever, dude. All right. So what were we? Oh, okay. So you introduced the topic. And I'm so like, what did you say? All right, so for anybody who's joining like I am right now, I posted a couple days ago. And to be honest, the reason why I posted is because so many different people sent it to me and asked me about it and wanted you all to weigh in. And hi, Anita. And so I went ahead and posted it. And I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it. Great. So people are asking, what's the topic? Okay, so here's the post. This is what it looks like for anybody who was unaware. And the topic of the post is...
I shall be back.
Recently, what'd you say? Oh, that recently, well, people are asking. So is that recently Nicole Murphy was caught in Italy, I believe, on vacation, kissing Antoine Fuqua on the mouth. And you can see that in the there it is, right there. All right. And so they showed a picture of Nicole Murphy and Eddie Murphy. On the bottom of that, on the right side of it, they showed a picture of Lela Rochon, who was Antoine Fuqua's wife, when she was just got married 20 years ago. And then they showed a picture of her now. And of course, the one when she just got married, she looks young and gorgeous and vibrant, and she's super fit. And now she looks just a little more frumpy and a little more overweight now. So the conversation was, actually, I'll tell you, the conversation was that a gentleman wrote a meme, and I wanted to know what my audience's thoughts were on the meme. And so here's what the meme is. He says, ladies, listen, when you get married, you're expected to be at a healthy size. Lela Rochon used to be sexy until she let herself go. When she married her husband, she looked like the then photo, the earlier one. After 2 kids, she looks like the
D?
and that's not a wife that doesn't take care of herself. What? Were you not able to hear me?
No, I lost you for a bit, yeah.
Darn. Okay, so I'll read just that last part. So here's what the caption says. Listen, ladies, when you get married, and in fact, let's just grab the glasses. How about that? So I can read this better. All right, listen, ladies, when you get married, you're expected to be at a healthy size. Lela Rochon used to be sexy until she let herself go. When she married her husband, she looked like the then photo. After 2 kids, she looks like the now photo. She has money to get in shape, so there is no excuse. You can't be mad if your husband cheats on you with a more attractive and in-shape chick. Nicole Murphy is sexy and in shape, period. You can't blame her husband for wanting better. Lela needs to work out or ship out, period. We like what we like, and that's not a wife that doesn't take care of herself.
May I jump in?
Please do. I would love to hear what your thoughts were.
Yeah, I jump in.
Okay. There are so many problematic things with what he says in the caption. Okay. So firstly, he says used to be sexy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sexiness has got nothing to do with a person's physical being. So like that's a
You
very
don't start screaming to the heavens.
You know, like it's got nothing to do with the being. I have seen some guys who look like somebody backed the dump truck over them and then went forward again with some amazing looking women. And these women will swear that this is the sexiest dude I have ever met in my life. Seal is nobody's, like, it's not a first prize by anybody's standards. But, you know, like in terms of look.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to pin, and this isn't my life. This is your life. I'm like, what's going on? I'm sorry, I'm trying to pin it, and I can't. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, like you get someone like Seal, and this is no knock to Seal, but like the scars and all that kind of stuff, you know, don't exactly make him the first, you know, ideal. What?
Jay-Z,
Let Seal have a
Mark
conversation.
Anthony.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, let Seal have a conversation with a woman. It's over. It's wraps because his, you know, his charisma, his, you know, who he is so compelling. You can't, you know, you can't mess with that. You know, so that was the first thing I had an issue with. The other thing I had an issue with is where he goes like Nicole, um,
Murphy.
Murphy, and I'm like, okay, like by whose standards? Because she's what, light skinned? Because she's in shape? Because we all know drop dead, physically attractive, gorgeous women who we don't consider sexy at all. Desirable, maybe. We want to hook up with you, but we don't feel a need to stay around you afterwards. Because,
So now you got to define sexy.
okay, so, okay, when
And I'm
we,
saying
when we,
that only because it sounded like sexy does not equate to hookup culture. Sexy, by what you just said, sounds like it. There's something that we want from you, like long term. So go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, so, I mean, it's become a very subjective, term. Initially, what it meant was basically, um, what is it about this person that makes me want to have sex with them?
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is, a lot of the time, it has nothing to do with looks. Absolutely nothing to do with looks. Um, Someone posted earlier that Beyonce, Riri, all these gorgeous women, and they've all been cheated on. Facts. Many times, what a guy considers sexy or attractive, needs to be looked at through the lens of his needs, not
Uh oh.
necessarily what he wants, but his needs.
Uh oh.
So society will tell him, go for this. And many of us go for what we think we want or what society tells us to want, and we forego our needs. And then we are in a relationship, we're in a marriage where we're unhappy because our needs are not being met, and then we meet some stranger, who then comes and caters to our needs. I've had wives be on some like, he left me for that? He cheated on me
Always.
with that? And then it's like, yes, because his needs were being met there. That was sexy for him.
Yeah.
That was sexy for him. So it's not always about the looks. It's not always about the physique. It's not always about the external packaging. It's the entirety of the package. Now, like in this case, you know, people need to understand a few things. Like that whole caption is just like for me is foolish for so many reasons. First of all, you don't know Eddie Murphy and Nicole. You don't know why they broke up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know Antoine. You don't know Lela. You don't know what the challenges are like in their marriage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For me, for me personally, the fact that this guy has stepped out, and someone is saying he stepped out before as well, he's the problem here, not her. In fact, he may be a huge contributor of the weight gain. We don't know this for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like let's not be so quick to judge Layla for how she looks. Then you have Nicole. Like based on how Nicole's been presenting herself, in on TV shows and interviews and just in the media in general, you know, like her worth and her values premised on how she looks. Women like that, like listen, guys get tired of them very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard about Eddie Murphy breaking up with her, I wasn't even shocked because he himself, is quite a superficial guy. I mean, like by the fruit you can see them. So when you have two superficial people together, like it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what's gonna happen. Layla, did she let herself go? Yes, she did. From the context of what the guy says about, a woman needs to look after herself in a marriage, there I agree wholeheartedly. Because ladies, remember, your body is no longer your body, just like his body is no longer his body. And you need to be able to submit to his leadership. If he says, for example, let's go work out, okay, submit to that. If he says, let's eat right, submit to that. Why? Because your body is no longer just your body, it's his too. He wants to still derive pleasure from it. But if you're going to keep putting yourself in, like in unhealthy situations where um,
you could end up getting sick, or it could affect your sex life. It could affect your love life, your emotional life. It can even like affect your moods, your emotions. This becomes a problem for the both of you, and that's the only place where I concur with this guy. D, please go on.
All right, so multiple things. First of all, do I think that men like what they like? Absolutely. Does a man like a healthy woman? Sure. Does a man, prefer that his wife be healthy for all possible reasons? Absolutely. And I don't think that there's a wife on the planet who wants to be unattractive to her husband. And I always give both sides the benefit of the doubt. The truth about weight gain is it happens throughout a woman's life for a lot of different reasons. And there are different points at which a woman can pretty much expect to gain some weight. In puberty, she can expect to gain a little bit of weight. When she goes to college, she can expect to gain a little weight. It's called freshman 15. Sometimes it's a 20, whatever. I personally, knowing that and anticipating it, gave up meat when I went to Howard because I didn't want to gain weight. And so I went, basically vegetarian. When a woman goes past 30, and men too, when you hit the age of 30, your body changes, there might be some differences. First child, second child, differences realistically with a woman. If a man is not accommodating or understanding of the fact that a woman's body is going to change, particularly in childbirth, and then later on again when we go through menopause, there are all kinds of biological things that happen, and a woman tends to spread more. It's also her hormones, it's also her bones, her fat cells, all of these different things combine to change a woman. And I've had mentors of mine. I remember when I was 30 and I was like working out hardcore, and I showed up at a junket, and one of my mentors was like, maybe 45, 50. And so I sat with all the girls, and they were all going, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I told them everything I was doing to lose the weight. And I remember my mentor, who was going through menopause, was like, baby girl, I'm going to tell you right now, you get to a certain age, that's not even going to work. In other words, and I know this person specifically, what can I say? Okay, let me think of how to say this. This person works out hardcore and works with a specific group of people who work out hardcore who are in that age range. And all of them were struggling. Everybody's body is different. And so the first thing, like I said, that I'm going to say is if a man is not aware or is not accommodating of the fact that a woman's body is going to go through certain changes at different points in her life, then you don't want to be with a woman. You want to be with a man. Because men, you all have way more muscle tone than us, and testosterone is a wonderful thing that helps you no matter what. And the truth is, you and your husband can be working out same time, doing the same things, and your husband will burn more fat and he will build more muscle than a woman in the exact same time frame, because we are made different. So again, if a man is completely not understanding of that fact, then he wants to be with a man and not a woman. That's the first thing I want to say. The second thing that I would like to say is when we see posts like this, we need to stop judging everything. My mom, for instance, when she went through menopause, she only gained 10 pounds. And she went on a diet and she lost it very quickly. You know what I mean? But I know other people, it might be 30, it might be 50. Everybody's body constitution is different. Everybody's genes are different. And we need to understand that. That's the second thing I want to say. The third thing I want to say is, since I posted it, I have been informed that Lela has lupus, which is an autoimmune disease. I have also been informed that, and this I don't know for sure, but there is speculation that Antoine has outside children outside of his marriage. And the other thing that I was told is that Lela had difficulty in her pregnancies, and so there were issues with the pregnancy that also led to weight gain. What am I saying? Health issues, life issues. So anybody who's looking at, and the post literally is like, no excuses. The hell there aren't. The hell there aren't. The truth is there are excuses. there are very realistic things that happen with a woman's body, and you don't know how she's struggling. You think she doesn't know she lives in Hollywood? This woman has been an actress. This woman was literally called, like, what was she called? Somebody said it on what you call. I forgot what the line was, but she was like the finest thing ever. So it was Sunshine or Sunflower, whatever. She was on Harlem Nights, and then on Boomerang, she was the girl who, she walked past him, and he was like, whoa, and next thing you know, what am I saying? I'm saying the woman who is gaining weight has more to lose and more invested in her own weight loss than anybody even watching it. How do I know that? I've been that woman. Whether it was gaining weight or like losing a job or losing anything, like any area in your life where you're failing and other people are looking at you and they're judging, well, maybe she just doesn't care. No, Negro, I care more than you do. You think I'm not in my body going, how do I fix this? What do I do? Struggling, trying. And the other thing I will say to what Kofi said in terms of, husbands, the way you said it was like she's denying it. I don't believe that. I believe that if in fact this is somebody, well, first of all, the fact that he is stepping out already says he doesn't care about her. He cares about himself. He cares about gratifying his own needs. So that doesn't strike me as a husband who's like, babe, let's get in the gym. Let's work out. Babe, let's cook this food. Babe, let's do this. Let's do that. Someone who's cheating doesn't strike me as someone who's very supportive, because the truth is, when I have gained weight, I wish I had a guy in my life who was like, babe, let's go to the gym. Babe, let's go hiking. Babe, here's what we're cooking. Babe, here's what we're doing. And the truth is, there was a summer where I was dating a guy and that was his attitude. I lost 30 pounds. Like, what I'm saying is we don't tend to resist when we actually have the help, the support, the encouragement, etc. We tend to let ourselves go when we're not in the healthiest of situations. And when I say healthy, I mean totality. I mean having someone who is in our life, who is our number one fan, who loves us, who encourages us, and who is there for us as we are trying to overcome these hurdles. That's what I'm saying. Yes, stress is a huge for weight gain and for all kinds of other things as well. And so all I'm saying is, before we go judging people, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. And then after Kofi talks, we can talk a little bit more about these vows. Oh, but one more thing I want to say that you said that I really liked is, and ladies, I hope every woman right now under the sound of my voice listens to what I'm about to say. I've learned from men like Kofi, like George, like men in my life, like, my brothers, like other pastors, etc. Men that I, even a lot of my, clients, etc. We have no idea what sexy is to men. I'm saying to masculine, healthy, beautiful, valuable, God-fearing men. We have no idea. We have been so thoroughly led astray and gaslit in this society by a fashion industry that is run by, hear it, and don't think I'm discriminating, because I'm not. I'm just telling you the truth. Run by women and gay men, but they are telling you what heterosexual men find sexy. They don't know. They have no idea. And that's the reason why you have all these wives going, he left me for her? Yes, because you don't know what sexy is. You bought into what the fashion industry told you, and based on that, you all have it all wrong. The last thing I'm going to say before I let him get in here is, he said something so beautiful about what a man needs versus what he wants. I recently taught a class on the 3 healthy wants of a man and the 3 unhealthy wants of a man. And then the 3 healthy wants of a woman, 3 unhealthy wants of a woman. And it might have been needs. I'm not sure which one. Get the class. It's 30-30. If you all are interested, I expound on this point. But I'm telling you, women are clueless You all, and it's not your fault because you've been so thoroughly marketed to by Madison Avenue. Every billboard, every bus, every building, everything. It's everywhere you look. There's, every magazine, social media. You're on YouTube. Every ad, every single thing about the beauty industry has you all thinking that heterosexual men like all this stuff. That if you sit down 10 heterosexual men and ask them what they think is sexy, and you will hear a lot of what Kofi was alluding to when he first started talking.
Thanks, Lee. Like, I just want to say a couple of things. Firstly, the guy says no excuses. This woman doesn't have excuses. She has reasons. She has reasons. So we need to consider that.
And I'm sorry. When I talk next time, can you title it? I don't want to talk. Can you title it? Can you pin the title? When I talk next time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you can just put, latest post, Lela, Rochon, Nicole Murphy, Antoine Fuqua. And I'll spell them for you. Okay, now I'm done interrupting. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. That was the first thing. No excuses. She has her reasons. The second thing is, I just want to stress, it's not about the weight. It's about health. The key thing should always be health. Like in African culture, like at least, like the way we were raised, we were always told, if you want to see what your wife is going to look like in her older years, go look at her mom.
Yeah.
And sometimes take a look at her dad too, because like she may have gotten his genes.
Yeah.
And you'll have an idea of what to expect. And then you can start bracing yourself for that. That's the one thing. The other thing is, in a lot of African cultures, a lot of Black cultures, weight gain is actually seen as an attractive thing. If you get married to her and she hasn't put on some size, they start looking at you funny as the man. Like, what? Like, are you stressing this woman out? Like, what has she been going through since like the two of you hooked up? Like, what are you doing to her? They want to know. So the key thing here is not weight, because different women have different body types. If you're a gym disciple, you will learn very quickly. There are 3 main somatotypes, or body types as they call them. Okay, and they say it's not really a physiological thing; it's more of a psychological thing, or a mental thing. Basically how we perceive ourselves. You have the endomorph, who is naturally chubby, chunky, however you choose to put it. You have the mesomorph, who has like the ideal genetics, who can swing both ways at any time. If he wants to lose weight today, he can lose weight today. If he wants to put on size tomorrow, he can put on size tomorrow. I can't stand those puns. They're the most irritating, frustrating puns on the face of this earth. Those are my brothers. They irritate me. And then you have guys like me, the ectomorph, or the hard gainers. We're the ones who struggle to put on size. But everybody thinks that, we have the ideal body type because we're naturally skinny. It takes us a year to put on half a gram and all that kind of stuff. But people don't understand there's struggles that come with that body type too. That, you idiots just like to complain about everything. Listen, my friend, try sitting in the same place on a hard surface for 5 minutes as an ectomorph. It is agony. Okay, so even sitting on a padded surface for 10 minutes as an ectomorph is agony, because your bones, are poking through your flesh. It is agony. The reason why I started lifting weights, the main reason why I started lifting weights, was because I got sick and tired of my baby. Like, every time I tried to put her to sleep, and I was laying on the couch and I put her on my chest, she would raise up off my chest because it hurt, because the ribs were hurting. You know what I'm saying? So like now I'm like, I don't know, gotta get in there and start. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's weight. Weight is not really the problem. Weight can be managed, but it also needs to be managed with an understanding of the person's body type and a realistic understanding of what their body can achieve healthily and what it cannot achieve healthily. So when you're talking about these ladies who keep pushing and are like struggling to work out. You saw my hand go up because my question was going to be, are they still trying to look like they looked in their teens? Are they still trying to look like they looked in their early 20s? Because if
Yeah,
that's
I
the case,
could say that my mentor, she didn't look bad. She was like medium plus like 10 pounds. So she just doesn't look like she was tiny when she was like in high school or whatever. But she wasn't like fat or obese or anything. She just, and remember, we work in Hollywood. So
yeah.
Hollywood standards are completely different. Even me, like when I started, I know, I'm just saying, even when I started losing weight at that point, like rather when I was losing weight at that point, I remember checking in with the people around me and saying, don't let me lose too much, because I can look in the mirror and everything's perfect, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was on camera at the time, and even though you look in the mirror realistically and everything is perfect, when you look on camera, the camera adds 10 pounds. And so you're always going, I could just lose 10 more. And you know, that's how people end up being like anorexic and stuff, because it's not a realistic, it's not realistically what's going on. Like in person, you're great. It's like, don't lose any more. But when you look at the camera, it can play on you. And that's the other reason why I'm saying I understand me being a host. I'm not even an actress. You know what I mean? Like, Lela Rochon, trust me, she knows what she looks like and she wants to get it back. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. But go ahead.
Look, I mean, and it's not a struggle that women go through alone. Like guys also go through it. I I hate to admit it, but I also struggle with a condition that is called body dysmorphia, where you look in the mirror and what you see is not necessarily what you actually look like. So
Yes.
because I grew up being teased about being skinny, like for the first 35 years of my life, all right, all I see is skinny.
Yeah.
And I remember, I started working out in 2012. I saw myself as skinny until I watched a video of myself at my brother's wedding in 2014. And, like there was a shot of me walking past in a suit, and I was looking swole. And I was like, but it still didn't really register. Then last year, no, this year, I took another photograph. I took a photograph with my mom and my brothers. And my brother used to work out as well, but he stopped, so he went back to, his natural size. And I'm standing next to him, and I can see, so Kofi, you do work out. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of what we struggle with is our own demons.
Yeah.
And like the key point I'm trying to raise here is, firstly, that demon of comparison, you have to stop it.
Yeah.
I used to walk into the gym and look at other guys and be like, I want to be as swole as that guy. But we have different body types. I'm never going to achieve that without drugs.
Right.
So I need to stop even looking at those dudes and start looking at guys with similar proportions, similar builds, and then use that as a frame of reference to start working out and talk to them. Then I also need to remember that, listen, based on my age, based on my diet, based on the
Yeah.
exercise that I'm doing, based on my lifestyle, based on
Yeah.
what my woman needs for me, I need to work out according to that as well.
Right.
It's not just about, I'm trying to be the next Mr. Olympia. No, that's not practical. And that's going to end up doing more damage psychologically and in my marriage and in my home and in my family than anything else. So the key thing is health. And please, when I say health, I'm not just talking about physical health. I'm talking about mental health as well. I'm talking about emotional health. I'm talking about spiritual health. It's good to exercise. It's good to be in shape, but you also need to fully understand what your natural shape is and then work with that. Okay.
Totally. I totally agree. I think the other thing here that we also need to think about realistically is the fact that, well, I already said realistically, a woman's body is going to change. So if you don't want a woman's body to change, then again, you don't want to marry a woman. But let's tell the truth. Your body's going to change too. Your body's going to change too. So, men
I
lose
have a
hair.
belly now.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say. Men get bellies. They lose hair. They get a bunch of girth. like I said, yeah, they might go bald. A lot of the women were saying a lot of your equipment doesn't work the same way it did when you were younger because a lot of y'all did a little too much. And as a result of that, when she's coming into her sexual peak, you might not be able to keep up the way that she would like for you to keep up. And the point was, women don't cheat because you've lost a little bit of hair or a little bit of you've gained a little bit of weight, or because even because your erectile dysfunction is not working very well. You know what I mean? Like, women tend to be much more willing to work with you to keep those vows. And there seems to be more in society that says if a woman is not keeping it together, if the man steps out, there seems to be more of a societal understanding on the part of the man than there is on the part of the woman. And that brings me to vows. For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. Like, do you mean it or not? Are you a man of your word or not? Are you a man of character or not? Are you a man of integrity and honor and decency or not? Does your word mean anything? Can anyone rely on you? Past what's comfortable. Are you willing to sacrifice? We're commanded, rather, men are commanded to love their wives as Christ loved the church. He died for the church. You can't even work out with her. You can't even work through the patience. You can't even, you know what I mean? You can't even, modify your understanding of who she is based on, age happening. I tell you what, wait another 30 years, she's going to have wrinkles too. You're going to leave for that? Wrinkles, spots, all kinds of things are going to be moving. What's up here is going to be down here. Do you leave? Do you cheat? Like, is that what we're doing? And really, we complain all day long, and men even are starting to complain. Women have been complaining forever. We complain about fake and phony, and men have been complaining about these fake breasts and these fake butts and all the stuff that women are doing in order to be in your favor. But then when women see a post like this and they see men defending the man instead of defending the vows, then what do you think women are hearing? Women are hearing, okay, that's what you like. So all I need to do is develop my body by any means necessary so that you don't cheat. So yes, if I can't do it the natural way, then I'm going to a surgeon. But y'all don't even want that. It's make up your freaking minds. Okay, yes, sir.
On behalf of real men all around the world, we do not recognize this fool. Thank you very much.
I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say it again.
On behalf of all real men around the world, we would like to categorically state that this clown is not one of us. Thank you very much. All right. Look, when I was married, my ex-wife put on I think she put on an extra, 40 or 50 kg. All right. At some point, she was sitting on 115 kilograms. Okay. And it wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy. But the vows that you love her.
Right.
Even in that condition. So guess what? I had to love her even in that condition. I never cheated. I never stepped out. I never looked at other women. I saw other women, but then there's a difference between seeing other women and looking at other women. Oh, look at that fine one who just walked past right now. Okay, fine. Let's look away now.
Right. Or making her feel bad about it. Like, that's going to somehow make the weight go away.
Why can't you be more like that? Why can't you be more like that's right. Not love.
That's more likely to make me eat a whole freaking pizza by myself. Wow. He hates me. Let's be honest.
Gentlemen, brothers, it is critical that we remember our position. Even when she's fallen to pieces, you're supposed to remember your position, because the mandate doesn't change. You're still supposed to wash her with the word so that at the end of it all, you can present it to yourself radiant.
Which is why, I'm sorry, which is why what kind of drove me crazy that I really didn't like was where I saw most of the men go first was on the attack and they were with the no excuse. And I'm like, wait a minute, then you're single. Yeah. What do I mean? I mean, that's your baby. What are you talking about? No excuse. Like, help her.
Help her.
Help her. You're seeing her as an individual. You're not seeing her as your baby. You're not seeing her as your wife. You're not seeing her as someone that you have to cover and protect and provide for. You're now seeing her as an individual, and you're abandoning her like, hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Whoa. So when you're on your sick bed, do I do that for you too? Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, cure yourself. Fix it. Like, no excuses. Like, I need you to get that together. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'll be over here. When you figure it out, come over here and see me. No. Two are better than one because they help each other. They're not better than one just because there's two people present.
And the things like, with the right motivation, you will see changes. I remember I came home one day and she was like, yo, listen, get me an exercycle. And I got her an exercycle. And within a space of about 6 months, she lost 50 kg. I didn't have to force her. I didn't have to pressure her. I didn't have to do anything. She just all of a sudden like, nah, this man deserves better, And she didn't go back to her 20-year-old figure and blah, blah. She went back to an age-appropriate figure. This is the size that she was supposed to be, in her.
Yeah.
I mean, like in her 30s, and that's exactly what she saw. And 50 kg off. I mean, come on, like, you think I was gonna complain? No, you're still not quite there in your team. Like, listen, brother, we only have about 2 minutes left. I just want to leave you with this. If you meet her when she's a girl, understand she's going to grow into a woman. When you meet her as a young woman, understand she's going to become a middle-aged woman. In her middle age, understand she's going to become an old woman, a senior citizen. These are different seasons of life. You've never ever seen snowflakes dropping in winter, something like, really, these couldn't be leaves? Really? You respect the season. Respect her season. Some things out of love. Then I saw some comments from some of the ladies talking about, I know I stress eat, I know I do this, I know I do this. If you know it, okay, knowledge is power. Start taking steps to address it now. Start building that discipline now. It'll serve you later on in marriage, because what a lot of women do, they hide behind, as a woman, I'm allowed to be emotional, I'm allowed to be this, I'm allowed to be that, and then it leads to complacency. And that is what your husband will know you. He will know what you are capable of. He will know, when you genuinely believe something and when you're making excuses. Don't pull a fast one on it, because he'll see through it and he will resent you for it. Build the discipline. Get into the habit of looking after yourself. Not for him, not for anyone else. Do it for you first, because you're going to have to live with the medical conditions that follow.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, I've lost my life to cancer, and a lot of it came from weight gain. So keep a healthy weight gain. No one's asking you to be the next, top model, but keep a healthy weight.
Totally agree with all of that. And I think, what I was never saying was that it's okay for a woman to just let herself go and put on a ton of weight and not care about it. I think I'm just more concerned about her than I'm ready to judge her. Like, I could care less about judging her. It does nothing. It is absolutely nothing. Like I said, if anything, it'll probably do more to make her gain more weight, because you're just stressing her out and depressing her more, and you're pushing her down, that's what depression does. You're pushing her down. So there's not a person on the planet who's going to, be made better by people judging them and assuming the worst in them, which is, oh, well, she's just sloppy. She doesn't want to get better. So I never assumed that. And at the same time, I do not condone, like I said, just becoming sloppy in any area, though. In any area. You're absolutely right. The husband's body belongs to the wife. Wife's body belongs to the husband. We should be mindful of that with every single thing we do. We should also be understanding of the fact that it's going to change. It's not going to look the way that it did when you first got married. And I loved what you just did about those 4 seasons. Understand, if you met her when y'all were, you know, in high school and college, she's not going to look like that at 80, period. And there will be changes throughout. And if the changes are not enough for you, then you are superficial, because you're just going to keep going and getting younger and younger girls. And that tells me already the kind of person that you are. So, yeah. Are you in it for the long haul? Do your vows mean anything? Are you trying to be married and have a family and build a legacy? Are you trying to build for the kingdom? Does purpose have anything to do with this? You know what I mean? Or is it just you want to chase skirts? Because if you want to chase skirts, that's a different kind of person. And, you know, hey, by all means.
One Jazz V, I wasn't calling you out. I was just, you know, addressing what I remembered. And it's all in love. I'm glad you received it in love as well.
The other thing that I want to say, though, is a 50-pound weight loss to a woman is equivalent to a job loss for a man in terms of their self-esteem and what happens to them. So I will be posting a reverse post, but I'm going to be dealing with it on the men. And I want to see what is going to be the, you know, what's the discussion that's going to, I love doing social experiments like this and seeing, you know, what will the women have to say? Who will offer grace? Who will offer compassion? Who will offer empathy? Who will offer patience? And who will be judgmental or intolerant of the men who have lost jobs and who have, hey, by all means, you know, what if he can't find a job for 5 years? What if once he went down, his confidence went down and he wasn't able to find, or he just kept going down? Or what if when he went down, what if he started off making $50,000 a year and he couldn't find another job at $50,000 a year or $100,000 a year? And so, number one, he was unemployed long term, let's say 2 years or so. That was happening a lot with our economy. And then once he finally found a job, let's say it was minimum wage. Should the woman leave him? She's got men all over the place who are offering her penis, let's be honest, and who are offering her trips and offering her, and she has kept herself. So because she's kept herself, she's getting offers from all kinds of men. Is she justified in cheating? Somebody just wants to, you know, like I said, swathe her in Louboutins. Another guy just wants to take her on trips. Another guy just wants to kiss her in Italy, like this just happened. And if you see that picture and she's kissing in Italy, is she justified? Do women just want what they want? Do the men just need to get it together? What they say, shape up or ship out? Do the same rules apply? So it'll be very interesting to hear, you know, what people think when I post this, but I'm going to do an opposite post and see what happens. And by the way, just for the record, I am always for the marriage on both sides. So my official is, no, she's not justified in cheating. That's what you married. You figure it out and help him. Same thing I said for her. Help him. Help him find another job. Help him get some new trade skills. Help him go back to school. Help him to up his thing. Help him with the, you know what I mean? We're really good with organizational stuff and with data entry, a lot of things like that. Help him get his resume together. Help him, you know what I mean? Help him find a headhunter. Help him. Because he is you. Yes, sir.
Can I just add, like, if this were Old Testament times, they would have taken both Antoine and Nicole outside the city gates and stoned them.
Well, I thank God this is not Old Testament times, because I don't want to see nobody murdered. My hope is that they will at least see the uproar, because as I said, by the time I posted this, so many people had sent it to me from so many other pages that I almost didn't post it, because I was like, what's the point? Everybody's seen it. But then once I posted it, I realized, no, everybody hadn't. So that tells you a lot about audience. But the point being, my hope is, because I know that they've seen it. And I think Nicole, yeah, she came back and made a statement, not on this one, but on the original one that was just the picture of them kissing. And she said something like, we're family friends. We've been family friends forever. And it was just a friendly kiss. But I know, nobody bought it. But my point is, my hope is, this is what I love about God. God is so good to us. And a lot of times when people are watching us and they're seeing our sinful behavior, they judge us based on their five senses, which is all that they have to go on. But they don't judge us based on a righteous judgment, which only God can do. And the reason many times that we watch people and we see them and we're like, why are they getting away with this for so long? Is because God is so sovereign and he is so patient with us that he is giving us opportunities to come to our senses, turn around and repent of our own volition before he has to allow the natural consequences of life to catch up with us or judge us in the midst of our circumstance and boom, lay down the kraken. So my hope is that both of them will have a change of heart, understand what they have done. I pray that the shame, the embarrassment, that the public scrutiny, that it will have an effect on them and that they would realize what they've done, repent, turn around, and walk in a better way. That's my prayer.
Oh, flip. Oh, man.
Oh,
No.
did she say that? There's someone said she commented again saying that she apologizes for kissing a married man. I think that's great. I think that she should apologize to Lela, though.
Like, I mean, first she didn't know he was married, but we're family friends. We had no idea, the kids were never around. The husband, the wife was never around.
No. She never said she didn't know they were married. Everybody knows they're married.
No, I saw. Then she said she didn't know he was still married.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
saying she thought they were divorced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what that sounds like. Yeah, that she thought that they were divorced.
Oh, that's crazy.
You might want to check though. Walking around kissing men on the mouth. I mean, I'm just saying. You might want to be a little bit sure.
Like, this is Antoine Fuqua. It's
I
like
know.
this isn't Kofi
That's
or
what I'm
like
saying. It's like, yeah, that's not. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But
Kofi down is like the safe way. It's just on some, are you married? How do we prove that you are not? Like, anyway, I gotta run. I have to be in Pretoria at 9 o'clock. Great chat, man. Like, I wish we could have had it for a little bit longer. But yeah, lots of love from me, fam. Lots of love, D. Thank you so much for a great conversation. Thanks for that post. It stirred up a real hornet's nest, but these are the kinds of conversations we're supposed to be having. So that's what's up.
thanks, everybody. If you're interested in the course I mentioned, 3 healthy wants of a woman, 3 unhealthy wants, 3 healthy wants of a man, 3 unhealthy wants. Each one of those is $30. You can DM me. First name, last name, email address, city, and state. Beyond that, I am rooting for you, and be kind to each other.